The NFL playoffs are here, and this matchup on Wild Card Weekend is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Browns and the Texans, next on Madden NFL 24.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's the AFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap.
As it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Houston Texans.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
For all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp throughout the season to get to the playoffs. Intensity level will be off the charts.
It's the first of 6 games here on Super Wild Card Weekend, and we are underway on EA Sports.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
This is Ford. And some room to run now.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Well, when you're a road team in the playoffs, when you're a wild card, what's the one thing you need to be able to do to stay in football games? Run the football. And that's an excellent job right there of identifying where to go and picking up good yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Flacco.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. As you see, they have dealt with their fair share of injuries this season. But, Charles, that hasn't stopped them from putting together a very solid campaign, a very good record thus far.
I think a lot of credit has to go internally. Look, we always want to praise the head coach for holding the team together. But to me, it's the guys in the locker room putting on the uniform. Those starters who've stayed healthy, they've welcomed the backups into their ranks and showed them how to get it done. And this team, they've stayed afloat all season doing just that.
First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. Touchdown!
Elijah Moore
from 19 yards away.
And the Browns will strike first here in this wild card matchup.
Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Just a 4-play drive that time.
And it was finished off by Elijah Moore on the touchdown reception. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return.
And just shutting him off there.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive.
Leading them out, a 2-year starter at Ohio State and 2nd overall pick in the draft, C.J. Stroud.
And this being the wild card round, he is the true wild card in this game because a rookie quarterback getting to start in the NFL postseason, that's not normal. That's a little bit on the unusual side. And there's plenty of guys who have gone into the playoffs after a very good regular season and have struggled. But there have been a few who played well. He wants to be in the rival list.
Ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2. Stroud looking to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Stroud to throw it.
And his throw here's incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
And taken right on the 30. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like. The road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. This 2nd and 4. Here's Flacco. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. 7 yards there and a 1st down. To pass, Flacco. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hole.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
That's to the right side and complete to Njoku.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Flacco.
Right back to Njoku.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, 43 yards. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Texans offense set to regain possession.
I guess you could say they're kind of fortunate to be in the position that they're in, able to host as a division champ, because it's really one of the weakest divisions in the NFL.
And there's often the discussion every time, right? That 4th seed, should they actually be hosting? Because sometimes it turns out that division winner has a lesser record than wild card teams that get in, and some people think that'd be a more fair way of doing things. I got to tell you, I personally like it. The winning a division title, I don't care what the division, how it's ranked, it still means something to me, and I like the fact that they get the host.
I think that that's the reason you have the divisions. If you didn't, just stack them all up and take the best 6 records, but there's a division for a reason, and the champion hosts the first round.
And the first rule of thumb in building a team, build a team to win your division. Beat those teams first, then you go from there.
Eluding the pressure right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Stroud.
That's complete. It's Collins. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
Let's go now.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, BG, thanks very much. The playoffs are underway. What a weekend this is going to be. Super Wild Card Weekend. This, the first of 6 games set to be played. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment.
But first, let's remind everybody what's coming up tomorrow in the AFC. We've got the 3-6 game, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers squaring off against the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, in our game, it took a little while to get settled in, but we were in for a battle royale in this second half. And to call the action, let's go back to the guys who've been there all year, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. Plenty of adjustments likely being made by both teams in their respective locker rooms. To find out who advances to the divisional round, let's get you back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
Ready.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. Caught by Woods.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Flushed out right, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. The throwing again is Stroud.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 in the 1st.
As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
3rd quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Stroud on 3rd down now.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
This taken in right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Now Flacco. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. Operating off play action. Flacco. That's caught. And again, it's Goodwin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. Passing play. Flacco. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On the ground, it's Ford.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
Now this is fielded in the end zone.
Desmond King to return it from his end zone. So Stroud and the Texans
down 14-6. A minute 14 to go. They'll need to take this football a full 90 yards here as they've got it 1st and 10.
Stroud to throw it.
Flush to his right. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch.
So a great throw right there, and what a regular season this rookie had, piloting this offense, guiding them to a division title, and they get the home date here in round 1 of the playoffs. But, Charles, how do you think they'll play it here? Will they run the same kind of wide-open offense they've run all season, or do you think that they'll try and take some pressure off of the young fella?
Oh, I think they're going high, wide, and handsome in this one. I think it's all out, just as they've been doing all year long, because I think if you try and pull it back now a little bit, you're telling that young man you don't have quite as much confidence in him as you've professed. So go ahead and continue to run your offense. Do the things that got you here. As so many defensive coaches have told you and me, all gas, no brakes. Let it rip.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. How about the call to come with the blitz there in this situation?
And some of those calls happen just because of what they do on offense. So when they send out a number of people in the pattern, sometimes they just make a change on defense, say, okay, we'll come after you instead. And that's exactly what they did.
Here's Stroud. Flushed out right. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Here's 3rd down and 5. Stroud. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And remember now, field goal. This is touchdown or bust territory. So they took a late shot for the end zone, but the defense, as they've been all game long, up to the task.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
Get it. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler. Get it.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. And it's going to be batted down. And will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. And they will take a knee here. And Charles, on the losing side of things, you know, they didn't come in here as the favorite to these playoffs, but they came in with a lot of hope and anticipation. Tough to have that all snuffed out so quickly.
It really is. You're one of 12 teams when the playoffs begin that still has a chance to win the Super Bowl. So that's pretty darn good. And as you often talk about, a lot of hope when the playoffs start. Well, that ended for them. But when they look back, they'll have a lot to be proud of and see if they turn the page towards the next season.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. So long from Houston.